Budget Blinds. Visit their showroom or call today for a free in-home consultation.
Welcome back. With the new year comes new tax laws for Canadians. Prime Minister Trudeau's promised federal tax cuts for the middle class came into effect on Friday. The tax rate for people earning between $45,000 and just under $100,000 a year will drop from 22% to 20.5%. Wendell Goshen, a local certified accountant, says the new break for the middle class won't make a significant difference for Lloydminster residents falling inside of that bracket.
I don't think so. That the biggest cut is around $1,000, which is nice, but you divide it up into 52 weeks. Is that $20 a week? It's not a big cut.
People earning more than $200,000 annually will now see a 4% tax increase under the new laws. An estimated 320,000 Canadians fall into that bracket. Goshen says even some locals will be impacted by the change.
The wealthy are going to put more effort into avoiding tax, not evading. Very few people evade tax. They're going to great effort to avoid tax. And if it means leaving the country or the area, they will. They will change provinces.
Now, the government is expecting the tax hike for the upper class to generate an additional $3 billion in revenue. Well, moving on, it's a girl. Lloydminster's New Year's baby was born Friday morning, and her parents couldn't be happier for her arrival. Jordan Taylor and Kevin Monseller are the proud parents of beautiful Hadley Marie. She was born 6 pounds 9 ounces at 10:51 a.m. in the Lloydminster Hospital.
It's exciting. Definitely some big life changes. So, yeah, we're very excited.
Now, the family wasn't expecting their first baby of the New Year's. Hadley was originally due Christmas Day, but the first-time parents say they're thrilled to finally meet their daughter.
Oh, I was definitely hoping we would have her sooner. It's been a long pregnancy, so I was hoping it would be earlier, but we're very excited. She's finally here. We have a puppy anxiously waiting us at home.
Both parents are expected to be home this week to start 2016 as a family of 3. Well, if you've lived in the border city for more than a year or so, you know rental rates aren't always as low as they are now. Well, back in the early 90s, tenants at some Saskatchewan-side apartment complexes knew that as well after going through 3 rent increases in about 6 months. Jeremy Thompson has more in this week's Retrospect.
In September of 1990, rents went up all over the border city. And then in November, many of the same tenants received another notice saying they would have to fork out more in the spring. 13 units in 5 different buildings have sent rental appeal forms to the Saskatchewan Rentalsman Office. One tenant, who has asked not to be identified, told us she is tired of the increases, and that's why she appealed. At a Cambridge court where she lives, the rent went up $10 in March of 1990, then $50 in September of 1990, and now it is supposed to go up another $50 this March. Michael Laliberty, the property manager for Ramey Realty, says historical data supports the increase. Wendy Huard from the Upgrader Housing Directorate says her information backs up Laliberty.
The rents now are comparable to what the rents were in '87. And for 2.5 to 3 years, there were no rent increases.
Still, the tenant we spoke to doesn't think it's right. She says higher rents are fine for bigger cities, and if she wanted to pay that much, she would move to one of these cities. Laliberty says his company believes the process is the Saskatchewan government's way of enforcing rent control. And Huard says normally, when a tenant fights the increase, they win.
The tenant we spoke to says she wants to know how much more her rent is going to go up. Laliberty says this isn't the end of it. After the spring increase, we can probably expect another one sometime in summer. Krista Polishi, NewsHour.
In today's economy, rents are going down in the prairies. Dale Beck with the Saskatchewan Office of Residential Tenancies says they have no jurisdiction over rental rates. Those are just set by the market. But as far as complaints they do go, he says most of them come from landlords, not tenants.
We're on track to receive over 8,000 applications in Saskatchewan this year, 80% of which will come from landlords.
Beck says it's important that everyone know their rights and responsibilities when it comes to renting, and if you have any questions you need answered, you can just call this number. Well, that's all for Retrospect this week. I'm Jeremy Thompson.